my friends. Welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you are new to my channel, hey, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing. My kitten says hello. And if you are back, welcome back. Yeah, do you hear that little chirping in the background? I'm sure he's fine. This is just a thing he does. This is a good indication of how this WIP and Chat is going to go. So, yes, today I am here with you all to do a WIP and Chat. WIP stands for Work in Progress. Chat stands for Chat. So we're just going to hang out here for maybe an hour or so. We'll see. I am feeling the chaotic energy tonight, so we'll see. Feel free to have me, or should I say us, on in the background while you are working. And I have a guest today sitting just across the table from me right here. And like I said, I am feeling the chaotic energy tonight. Do you want to say hello?
Hello. I'm part of this WIP and Chat, this work in progress, because we are all works in progress.
There it is. There it is. Here we go. Here we go. That's my husband, you guys. You hear me talk about him a lot. He doesn't know how much I talk about him, but...
You think I don't know.
He's like, I secretly am watching all of your videos. No, so that's Adam. We're kind of co-working tonight and getting some stuff done. So anyway, feel free to whip out your WIP, even if it's just yourself, and work alongside us as we hang out and chat tonight. So let me give you a really quick rundown of all the things that I'll be using. The kit I'm working on is Rainy Day Mermaid from Diamond Art Club and the artist Erica the Goober. This was my sneak peek last week, and I sort of impulse started on it. And it has been really, really fun to work on. I'll tell you more about it as we get into it. But the other stuff I'll be working with, I have some of my new goodies. This pen is from Swampwood, and they just dropped some more today that were really, really pretty. This is from Butterfly Effect Brews and was a gift from my friend Alyssa. Super, super sweet. We're going to test out this tray divider a little bit today. That is from Munimade to go in my large Munimade tray. And then wax-wise, I pulled out some WeWax to use in a single placer, which WeWax is created by Laura from Anxiety Art Adventures, and she doesn't currently make it anymore, but I still like shouting out my friends. So check out her channel below. She's super sweet and does weekly lives on Mondays, and had a really hilarious one last week where she blind taste tested a variety of different drinks. And I cannot believe the absolutely disgusting drinks that her husband and friend managed to come up with to make her blind taste test. Anyway, we waxed my single placer putty, scented putty from Sensible by Design, and my multi-placer. I thought this was really appropriate. I don't know if I should show Adam this. Do you see? This isn't my cover reminder. Do you see what it says? Emotionally attached to fictional characters. So I have this one, and I have this mermaid, and I also have a confession. I will double check. I'm pretty sure this one was a gift, and I think it was from Galloway's Gallery. I'm not 100% sure, and I think this is from Galloway's Gallery as well. So I'm going to double check. My apologies if this is from your shop and I got that wrong. Because I'm like, wait, was this from Inchworm? Anyway, I will look it up. I have to check my receipts and stuff. My literal receipts, email receipts, and I will have everything linked in the description box below. So let me get a pen loaded up and ready to go, and we will get started. We'll have the Swampwood today, I suppose, but we'll have this pretty pink sparkly masterpiece hanging out in the background. Let's see, I think usually I need, these fit a little bit loose. If you go to put, especially like a multi-placer tip in, they sometimes tend to fit a little loosely. Just grab some washi tape and wrap it around the end there, and then that kind of makes it not slide out. There were so many possible "that's what she said" jokes in there. I am shocked that Adam didn't make one. I'm actually a little disappointed. I feel like it's fine.
What did I make?
That's what she said joke.
Oh, I was reading something, sorry.
ADHD, you guys. Sorry. Welcome to the neurodiverse, or as I affectionately call it, the neurospicy WIP and Chat. It's always neurospicy here.
I call it the insane asylum that we live in, but hers is a little prettier.
It isn't. You got to dress it up. So the Sensible by Design putty, I do have to kind of like pick some of it out, and then I just roll it out thin. And sometimes I use tweezers, especially if I've got nails on, which I feel like this nail is about to pop off. Because I decided last night that I was going to be really darn productive, and more about that later. But speaking of neurospiciness, it's almost like when you feel the ability and the desire to be productive and to get stuff done, you have to take advantage of it. Like you just milk that for all it's worth. And that was last night. My garage is a lot more organized. I sorted through stuff. Anyway, so this, like I said, this kit in particular was a little bit of an impulse to kit up. I was unboxing it and I'm looking at the colors going, oh my gosh, this is everything. These muted tones are my happy place, and the whole vibe of it, the energy of it just really fits sort of my mood and the weather here, because it has been unseasonably rainy in Southern California for weeks at this point. We've had so much rain, which is incredibly unusual for Southern California. Adam has been whining about it a lot because he's like, this is not what I moved here for and pay California cost of living prices for. I'm like, well, we are in a drought, but I know. All right, so, oh, you're not going to be able to see our cute minder because it's way up out of frame. This is the most chaotic sectioning situation that I have had in a very long time, because just leave that up there. Because I worked on this and I wanted to get some pictures posted, some progress pictures, so that people could see how it looked with some drills down. And so I had worked on a couple of sections and I posted some progress in the VIP group. That snapped in there really nicely. I don't know if you guys heard it click, but that's like really secure in there. I don't think we're going to see any drills slipping underneath. So she did say to be really gentle when you take it out, like kind of wiggle it to loosen it, I think. But okay, I normally don't section out my trays and have multiple colors going at once because I feel like it actually does not save time. But look, I try really hard to test out new things and not let myself get stuck in a box. So this is me trying new things. Even though this is a bunch of color blocking, I don't need more than one color out at once. We'll still, you know what, I'll test it out just to make sure that it's not gonna like go past the edge or something. So, okay. I almost finished the paint gem set that I was working on in last week's WIP and Chat. I kept working on those. I just have 2 more of them to go, and I kind of want to finish them before the end of the month so that I can be like, hey, look, another finish. I decided that I would count a whole paint gem set finished as one finish. I saw some of you in the comments say the same thing, actually. Okay, we're going to test this out. Okay, so I want to make sure I can keep track of which colors and which. So we'll put this container on the right-hand side, and then let's put this color in the left. You guys, I'm so scared. I'm too klutzy for this. Okay, so everything still lines up nicely. Oh, look at that. I can even get it. I just did that out of habit. Yeah, it's not going under there at all. And they're lined up all nicely. Look how sparkly those are. Diamond Art Clips round drills are super sparkly. Okay, so I have this on the side, this on the side, so I know which is which. I can do this. I don't like change, but it's fine. I'm not going to make any mistakes. I'm definitely not going to make any mistakes. Adam, I never make mistakes, do I?
Nope.
Thank you.
Never.
Not once. Never. Not once.
That's why I married you.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's you guys. It's just, oh boy. I did put up, I hope you guys are proud of me. I put up finally a cross stitch conversion project update video today. I went back and looked, and literally there has not been a video on that cross stitch conversion project since I did the kitting up video like 6 months ago or something ridiculous like that. But it's there now. So feel free to go watch that if you haven't already. I put it up yesterday for you guys, Sunday. And I'm proud of myself for getting that done. After I finish this kit, which maybe tomorrow, it's moving along. I think I want to go back to the cross stitch conversion project for a hot second. And then I really, really, really badly want to work on this kit from Carrot Art. Because I haven't worked on a kit from them before. I really, really want to. And yeah, so that's kind of what I have in mind here. It'd be cool to finish one of those like before the end of the month, but no, I'm not putting pressure on myself for that. Okay, I don't think that I personally, like just off the top of my head right here, I'm a huge fan of having 2 colors in my tray at once, even divided, because I feel like I keep questioning. I'm like, wait, which color was which? Which color was which? Don't mix it up. Don't mix it up. Don't make a mistake. It's fine. I'm going to be fine. No mistakes. No mistakes. It's fine. But yeah, that's kind of like what I'm thinking for this month. I've also been thinking about goals for this year, which I know it's kind of late in January, but I don't always love like doing things at the stereotypical time because it doesn't tend to work for my brain. So like I don't always like to think about New Year's resolutions like right at New Year's because then I'm like, well, I'm just setting myself up to fail, blah, blah, blah. But I was just thinking, like, I just have been feeling this drive and this energy to really try to set some goals. Adam brought up like some ideas, like of like how he is thinking about goals he wants to have set for this year and stuff. And so I kind of am just, I'm feeling like the desire to do the same. And so I was thinking about that a little bit. I have a couple of goals in mind that are just sort of incidentally number related. I've always tried really hard not to make my platforms or my presence on social media revolve around numbers because I think that is a really slippery slope. I think that if you just become focused on like, I just want to get big, then, well, for one, I think that can really set yourself up for discouragement if your growth looks the way that growth normally does, which is that it has tons of ups and downs. And sometimes there are setbacks or sometimes you need to adjust things for any number of reasons. And so I'm reluctant to like put a concrete sort of number on things, but there's some fun milestones that I'm like, if I happen to hit some of these milestones, it would be really neat. I'm just trying really hard not to make that like my sole focus. The kitten is trying to eat the rug. He's gotten really chaotic the past few days. Like ridiculous.
I think he's been chaotic since day one.
Yeah, but maybe it's a bigger deal because he's getting bigger.
What are you trying to accomplish?
I'm telling you, he's like... He doesn't like that rug is there or something. It's like one of the kids' play rugs. He's grabbing like the edge of it in his teeth and trying to like drag it.
He's trying to move it, yeah.
Like, oh, is
he
trying to get under
it? Yeah.
Cats, man.
Dumb cat.
Oh, you failed.
Oh.
You gonna try again? I'm telling you what. He is entertaining. He is so entertaining. Yeah, so like I think my growth on Instagram looks a little bit different. I feel like it's maybe a little bit slower, but I think that it's possible for me to hit 10,000 subscribers this year if things kind of keep up the pace that they have been. So that would be a fun number to hit on Instagram. I think that it's possible for me to hit, that was followers, not subscribers on Instagram. I think it's possible for me to hit 20,000 subscribers here on YouTube. And that's going to be wild if that happens. But just looking at sort of the pacing of things and stuff like that, like I think that could happen. And I haven't done giveaways in a while, so I'll probably plan for something like that. If I hit that particular milestone, we'll see. Also do something fun and celebrate and give back if that happens and that comes back around. Am I still placing the right colors? Yes. Okay. And then more like, or I should say less focused on sort of those external things that I actually don't have any control over whatsoever. I have decided that I want to try to complete half of my cross-stitch conversion this year. I don't think that that is unrealistic. I think that if I can get to 50% completion on that cross-stitch conversion chart, that I would feel really, really good about that. I think I can do more. I've had some people tell me like, oh, you're totally going to finish that this year. And I'm like, there is no way I'm finishing a project this year unless I really neglect like basically all other projects almost completely. Like there's just no way. And I'm not looking to neglect all my other projects. Okay, let's see what happens when we... Okay, I don't see any other colors, any fallout. Ooh, and I shook that kind of hard. Okay. All right, Mutie Maid. I like it. I don't know if it's something that I will personally reach for like every time. But I think that's awesome that like there's that option, because I know a lot of people, especially when they're working on really confetti heavy projects. I'm trying to loosen this really gently. Really, really don't want to hurt anything. That this might be right up your alley, and you can get multiple of these. These are really easy to get your hands on compared to the trays. So, anyway. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So yeah, thinking like completing half of my cross stitch conversion project this year is a realistic goal, I think. TBD though, because I tend to feel like I have more time and margin for stuff in the beginning half of the year. But then the second half of the year tends to be taken over by first summer with the masters in June and July, and then drills and chills in September, October. And then we go into the holidays, and I want to work on holiday themed kits while it's like seasonally appropriate. So somehow, like I've noticed just this the past 2 years, because yes, I've been diamond painting coming up on 3 years this April 1st. As my diamond painting anniversary. I've been diamond painting for 3 years. But yeah, I've noticed that the past 2 years in particular, with hosting those events and then going into the holidays, that I just feel like I tend to lose the second half of the year for bigger projects. So, which yes, both of those events are going to be happening in some form. No, I have no dates, details, anything concrete ironed out. But to the best of my knowledge, both of those events are going to be happening, and I will be involved as host or co-host. So stay tuned for details, because I actually had someone ask on an Instagram post. They were like, "Is Summer of the Masters happening this year?" It's like, in some form, yes. And then I want to work on kits from, I wrote down like 4 to 5 new to me shops. I just updated the list for that we have going in the Diamonds and Emeralds Facebook group that has a list of only shops that carry only legally licensed artwork, like 100% legally licensed artwork. So there are some shops that have a mix, and we did not include those. We only included the ones with 100%. And you guys, we regularly have to add to that list as new shops launch. Like I just added 4 more shops to it today, and I updated that list at the end of October last year. And I know of 1 or 2 more that are going to be launching at some point, I think, in the near future. So it's really, really cool. I love it. I love it. But yeah, there are several in there that I haven't tried yet. There was actually one that I checked out that I was like, why haven't I bought from this shop yet? And I went and looked, and they only offered like maybe a dozen diamond paintings. Every single one of them was a large landscape. I was like, that's why I haven't tried them yet, because I don't work on landscapes generally, and I definitely don't work on really massive landscapes. So I was like, well, we'll just check back. Maybe they'll add some smaller landscapes or some variety at some point. But yeah, so I've always got our Facebook group linked below. If you want to go and check it out, you're more than welcome to. And I'll try to link to that list of licensed shops as well. So yeah, that's one of my other goals. And then just generally, I'm trying to figure out ways that I want to make this more specific, but I want to push myself content-wise. I don't want to just be in a rut. I don't want to just be in like a space of being comfortable, like just putting out the exact same kinds of videos all the time. I don't want to stop making what I am making, but I feel like I can find ways to inject a little variety. Like small shop hauls are not going anywhere. Post reviews, unboxings, like month in reviews, those sorts of things. The cross-stitch conversion project, those kinds of videos, they're not going anywhere, but I feel like there's more, maybe in the way of like tutorials that I could be doing. Because I do enjoy sort of like teaching and helping people learn and understand. I feel like I could try to push myself in a way with like maybe how I present my content a little bit, but it's all a balance, because it's like the reality is I only have so much time in a day, and with the kind of rate that I put content out, I'd probably have to make some changes if I wanted to really shake things up drastically. At the same time, I don't want to change a ton from like what you guys came here for, like why you have been following me and staying in tune with what I'm doing on my channel. So I don't know. It's little things. Like I don't know if you guys might have noticed, but a couple of months ago, I started really trying to revamp just how my thumbnails look and make them a little more interesting and maybe eye-catching and stuff like that. So it's, some of it's small stuff that I'm playing with too. Hey, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about any of your goals for the year? None of them are diamond painting related, I'm quite sure.
No, none of them are diamond painting related.
Maybe they should be.
I do have some professional goals. Mainly to do with filming. I was just talking to my friends last night at a birthday party. We were talking about some of the things that I have planned. It involves some of them too, because they're also in the film industry. But all of it just builds up to making a feature film by the end of the year. I'm going to do something very small. I have an idea. I'm actually working on it right as we speak.
The script?
The script for it.
Nice.
So, so there's a lot that goes into, prepping for that, and that itself is a stepping stone to another feature with more funding behind it. But that's kind of the main goal, and that involves going to film festivals to network, and making short films also in preparation, and obviously writing the script and doing all the pre-production on that. So figuring out where all that money is going to come from, which is probably what the networking is for. So I won't go into all the ins and outs, but that's that. But I will show one thing I accomplished this year. I accomplished this yesterday with my son. You Bond fans will know this one.
You ready?
Is it in? Okay.
There we go. There we go.
There we go. This is the Aston Martin DB5 from Goldfinger and various other Bond movies, including No Time to Die. And there's Bond himself inside.
Do we know which is that?
Which Bond that is?
Is that Sean Connery?
It doesn't, it's not specific.
The hairstyle looks a little Sean Connery.
I was thinking it looked more Daniel Craig. Here, we'll let the audience decide. All right. Look at these very see the
look at the
swoop,
face. Yeah,
the swoop of the hair is more Daniel Craig to me. I think Connery's hair was darker.
Okay, I'm looking at his the lines on his face.
Yeah, well, even look at his eyebrows.
Are you touching the glue?
Hold on. If you look at his eyebrows, they're very light colored, and Daniel Craig is blonde.
Oh, that's true. So I was trying to make it.
I'm gonna say it's Craig, but it's
rookie mistake. Test
you gotta warn me.
Well, that's okay. It's Diamond Art Club's glue. I wasn't really that worried about it.
Anyway, you were saying cool. It's pretty cool.
You got that for Christmas.
I got that for Christmas, and I would love to say, I got it for my son. No, it's for me. He did help me build it though.
There were a ton of tiny pieces, though. I felt bad. He was
like 260 some pieces.
Yeah, it was. I mean, there's certainly been bigger Lego projects, including ones I've done.
Took a little while.
Yeah. Poor guy. He was definitely kind of losing attention span by the end of it.
Yeah, Connor kind of ran out of the attention. I just realized I do have something in the wrong place because this piece here, this part here is a shiny piece, and this one is not. Which means somewhere else I probably used a shiny piece when I wasn't supposed to, or used a non-shiny piece when I was supposed to.
There might be some in the extras bag because those little pieces are the ones they give extras.
If you look, they've got even the back is detailed. They've got that. And these are that's the smoke trail. Exhaust pipes, coming out the back there. If you were to pop this off, which is unfortunately it doesn't come off really easily, but if you were to pop that off, you'd see the little oil slick tubes that shoot out. It doesn't have the guns on it, unfortunately.
It's so detailed, though.
But it has a lot of. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Literally every single one of us got something Lego for Christmas. Because I had put a couple of Lego-related things on the kids' wish lists. I had something for myself. I saw my friend Jamie do the succulent set. The little, cubes that make up the succulents. They're coming out with a lot of those, botanicals, sort of non-typical, atypical, sort of Lego sets and themes, and I'm here for it. Now that I've really gotten back into the Horizon Zero Dawn series, I've been playing Horizon Forbidden West a lot the past couple weeks, which Adam incidentally got for me a while back, but we're not going to go back into that again. But there's a Lego set of the long neck, which is basically the machine version of a giraffe. But they created a Lego set of that. I don't know if I showed that to you, Adam. Did I? You could Google it. There's Horizon Zero Dawn or Horizon Forbidden West Lego, and it'll come up with it. It's really cool looking. So maybe I'll have to add that to my list, see if it's limited edition, if I need to go snatch it up. But Also, Legos get really darn expensive, like really darn expensive, really fast. But yeah, we've kind of been enjoying some of our like other hobbies and stuff too. Like I said, I've been gaming a lot more. Usually the kids let me play during the day, and like Mike is really amused. The combat in that game is highly like unrealistic. It's not graphic or anything like that. We're pretty conscientious about that sort of thing and what we're exposing our kids to. So I feel honestly perfectly fine playing it in front of my kids, including my youngest, but he's actually really amused by like the combat because there must have been one time that I went into like this focus mode and I must have said, "Oh shoot." And now every single time he's watching me play and I go into that mode, he's sitting there and he'll go, "Oh shoot," in his cute little voice.
And she'll do it in and out of focus mode, and every time, "Oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot."
It's so cute. It's so cute that he giggles. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. And what does Connor always ask me? Whenever I get into combat in that game, which again, it's very, very, very mild. Like there's no grossness at all because it's just you versus machines. There's no blood, there's nothing. But anytime I get into battle, Connor's like, "Are you gonna survive?" And I'm like, "Yes." Like, I don't know why that's the phrase that he uses. "Are you going to survive?" Like, dude, you've seen me playing this game and I always survive. Cause that's just because I play on easy mode. But look, I'm here for the story, not for the combat. But yeah, so we got back from our trip last week and kind of settled back in at home. The poor kiddos, they were hit by the jet lag a bit, but they did adjust okay. Though Micah's teacher did send me it was really adorable, really, really adorable picture of him. He had just completely fallen asleep on one of the aides in his class that first day back after our trip. And we did find out, this has been something that we have been asking for and working on and have been like at the top of the list for if it happens kind of thing since the beginning of the school year, but it finally seems like it's truly going to be happening. Micah, hopefully next week, is going to be moving into a new special ed class. It's like a preschool transitional kindergarten class. And the best part about it, well, there's two really good things. There's a lot of really good things about it. It has a later start time by like 2 hours. And I think that's going to make a huge difference for him because his teacher really feels like it's been a real struggle for him to really be able, oh, look at that. I just lost a nail. We're just going to leave it. There we go. I was afraid that was going to pop off, and for some reason it just did. But yeah, so I think I've talked about it here as well, just our struggles with him just being so tired with this start time. And we just really thought that he would get used to it. And we really hoped that something was going to open up sooner. It's a bummer that something didn't open up sooner, but I'm going to take my wins where we find them. So I guess it's a new program that's starting. I think like a lot of fields, there has been a bit of a shortage for just as far as staffing goes. Which is why this probably hasn't happened sooner. But they're launching a new class. It's going to be at a different school, which incidentally is, it's a better location for us. And yeah, so I hope the transition goes okay. I honestly think that it's probably going to be mostly overshadowed in a good way by just the fact that he's going to get to sleep in 2 more hours in the morning. And he's going to have it's supposed to be a smaller class size because it's a new class that's launching and they're just moving a few kids over. And then as new kids come into the district and stuff like that, like they can feed them into this program. So fingers crossed, please send the good vibes. They just have to get some ducks in a row this week, and hopefully he'll be able to start with that next week. It's just been like a week full of all that sort of thing. We've got Connor's big like triennial IEP meetings. Like we had part 1 before we left. We're having part 2 this week, and that is going to have lots of impact on his, like what happens with him and stuff like that. But, this is one of those IEP meetings that they do every 3 years where it's like the parents fill out all these assessments and that are a lot more detailed than the ones they do on just a regular annual basis. And the speech pathologist and the teacher and the school psychologist, like everyone does all these things. And it's for informational, like helping inform like what his needs are, what his strengths are, like how can we like help him thrive in all these different ways. So it's exciting, but it's also a little bit scary because it's like you want to set your kid up to succeed. It's like you want to challenge them, but you don't want to like put them in a bad situation either, or where they're going to struggle. Parenting is hard, you guys, especially parenting kids with special needs. It just can feel like you spend a lot of time questioning and going, is this the right call? Am I making the right choices for them? Am I being the right kind of advocate for them? Is this going to help them? Is this a risk we want to take? So it's just a lot of that. Adam, I don't know how much you feel that sort of pressure, that like, I don't know, maybe some of that worry just with, are we making the right decisions? Is this the right call? We tend to, no, go ahead. Never mind.
Well, yeah, but, it seems like to me that you do the best you can at the time you can, and that's all anybody can do. I mean, you got to advocate for the kids, but you got to listen to the professionals also. So
yeah,
but to me, it's otherwise it's pressure that you can't live with, really, to be like, did I do the right thing? Am I doing this? Is this what's best for them? Did I do this wrong? Did I make this, is this too hard or not hard enough? Or is this too lenient? Or did I not, there's so many questions you could ask yourself, and it's like, and they're good things to ask to kind of like learn. But you always have to take it as this is how we're going to move forward. Because otherwise, because they're not going anywhere and their needs aren't going anywhere. And so, this is a lifelong situation. Yeah. So you kind of have to make your peace with it. And I mean, maybe that's partly me talking as someone who grew up with a diagnosis that affected my, my life and my learning, and had to, adjust to that. It was kind of always just doing the best I can and having to just live with that being enough. My parents tried really hard with me and tried really hard to give me help and do the right things with me, and a lot of times they did, but not every time. So there's a lot that they didn't understand, and I didn't understand either, and some of it nobody understood. So it was it's so there's a certain amount of it you just you make the best of the situation, and it's not all bad either. I mean, there's the kids are really special the way that they are. And,
they are.
I always felt that way about me too, that I like me the way I am. I don't want to not, would I love to not have these problems? Sure, but that would make me also a different person, and I don't want to be a different person. So, yeah. Yeah.
That makes me think of like one of the reasons, this is a tangent, because this came up in obviously Adam, you weren't there, but I'll explain. Who was alive? Anthony, Single and Placing, was doing a premiere live where he did an artist spotlight on Rose Profit Creations, and she was talking about how she had a piece coming out soon that she had created that was like celebrating autism and used the infinity symbol. And I said something in chat. I was like, oh my gosh, like it makes my heart so happy to see use of like the infinity symbol and the idea of like autism acceptance as opposed to autism awareness. I was like, that just makes my heart so happy. Like, thank you for doing that. And someone in the chat asked, they were like, I'm sorry, like I'm not totally up to date on it, but what's wrong with the puzzle piece? And I kept it really short in chat. I said, it's kind of complicated, but like generally the actually autistic community doesn't at all like the organization Autism Speaks, and doesn't like the puzzle piece imagery, because the idea is that autistic people aren't missing, like they're not broken, they're not like incomplete. They are whole just as they are. They're valuable just as they are. And this is like, it's a core part of like who they are. And I don't have an official diagnosis. That's one of my goals for this year. It's not diamond painting related, actually, is to get an official like assessment and hopeful like diagnosis for myself of autism, just because I feel like that would be really empowering and validating. And if nothing else, if there's something else going on, it could be helpful information to have as well. But I just resonate really strongly with the idea that like autistic people aren't missing something. They're not missing a piece, because their brains are wired to operate just very differently from everyone else's. And kind of a spin-off of that was like I follow a couple of like Instagram accounts that are more about like positivity and informational about autism by like autistic creators and stuff like that. And one of them had put out something this past week that was like, here are all the things that are like amazing about being autistic. And it said something along the lines of, we see a lot of talk more about the challenges that neurodiverse people have, but here are some like really amazing things that they're capable of and that they're able to do and do well. Things like that anyway, it was just such a positive take on it that I was like, I need more of this energy in my life. And I think of that with our kids a lot as well, where I don't look at Connor and just constantly think of like, oh, here are these challenges that he has that we need to help him figure out. Like, there's some of that, sure. But I mean, I think any parent's going to have that with their kids. But I look at Connor and I'm like, dang, it is so cool the way that he is able to retain so much information and so many details about whatever his current special interest is, which right now is railroad crossings. Not trains, but like the actual railroad crossings. Like he'll be like, okay, I found this YouTube video and it was of this railroad crossing in Germany and it was this GS type 4, blah, blah, blah. I just totally made that up, but that's basically what it is. And he'll be like, Mom, and we went past over a couple of railroad tracks and crossings when we were out of town, and it was like he could tell us what type they were. Be like, Mom, is there a type this in Ohio? Kind of crossing in Ohio. I was like, buddy, I don't know. So we've been actually looking and trying to find like there's a lot of like train museum type places out here. We're trying to find like someplace cool we could take them that is maybe somehow a bit more focused on the actual railroad crossings, because he would just be ecstatic. He would be so excited. But yeah, he's always looking at YouTube videos of cool railroad crossings and stuff like that. So if you just happen to come across some really cool YouTube videos of some fun railroad crossings you think that he would like, feel free to send the links to me on Instagram and I'll share them with him. I'll be like, my online friend sent this to me to show you. And he'd probably be super, super tickled. But yeah, like we think about those kinds of things. And like Micah is still mostly nonverbal. He's tricky to describe because it's like he's nonverbal, like as far as conversation goes, but the kid probably has several hundred words if he's reading them. Like he can read he'll try to sound out words. It's crazy. And we're working on speech therapy. We ended up with a different kind of insurance with the new year. So we're going through the whole process of like, we have to get a new set of referrals and authorizations, and it's a whole thing. I've spent so many hours on the phone with insurance the past couple weeks. But hopefully we'll be able to start him in speech therapy very soon and feel like we just kind of like unlock that for him. But I've gone on so many tangents, you guys. My goodness. Am
I supposed to be keeping you on track? No. Okay, good.
Why would I ask the person with ADHD to keep me on track?
That is a very good question.
No.
That wasn't my job, was it?
No.
Whose job was that? It wasn't me.
No, I thought this would be a little less formal. I mean, I've lost a nail. I splashed a bunch of water on myself before we started.
It's a regular day.
Yeah. It's been great. Adam has had a new development recently. I don't know if you want to talk about it much at all, but let's just say he's going to be around a lot more for a minute. Hopefully not too long. But he's going to be around. I'm going to make him help me with film stuff.
I feel about the way this is being set up.
I'm kidding. I get to have him around more. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I left my job, is the short version. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the whole version, really. I left my job and I need a new job, but I couldn't stay at that job because I hated it. So I didn't hate it the whole time I was there. I was there for a long time, almost 4 years. But some things changed, the environment changed, and I couldn't do it anymore. And I tried looking for a new job a few months back, and I was too busy doing my job to look for another job, which was a very frustrating place to be. So I just needed to make a clean break, and now I am hunting. And that is the whole story.
So if you guys have any happy thoughts, positive vibes, if praying is something that you do, we would be extremely grateful for it.
It's stressful not to know where the next job is going to be or when it's coming. We're not going to starve tomorrow or anything like that, but
no, we'll be okay.
It's it's nerve-wracking in a lot of ways. So
yeah,
just do the best we can.
But there's also good things. Like, there's things that Adam is going to be able to take advantage of doing in between job hunting. Like, this is going to be productive time in between jobs. He's doing lots of writing. He mentioned about how he really wants to... He's been really deliberate about, like, these are the steps that I need to take to be able to make a feature, X, Y, and Z. And so it's doing those kinds of things. And we're taking it as a challenge to be, like, super creative and strategic about how we do it, like budget friendly and stuff. So it's going to be okay. I'm feeling like, as someone that actually loathes change and freaks out at a lack of security, especially when it comes to finances, I feel I still feel it. There's definitely some anxiety, but I feel so almost strangely at peace over the whole thing. I think that speaks to how bad it had gotten, actually. And also just I don't know, maybe my confidence that, like, something like this really is going to have been for the better, and that hopefully something is going to come up, like the perfect next chapter and next step is going to come up. I would love if it's sooner rather than later, but I mean, who wouldn't want to hire this guy is what I'm saying.
Well, you always want to find a place where you're going to get to stick your, plant your flag. For me, at least, I want to find some place I can stay for a long time. And I don't have a bunch of short-term jobs on my resume, and but I was hoping this one would last longer than it did, but it wasn't a brief stay, and so I want to find something that's going to be my new long-term home. But in the meantime, I'm also looking for, like, contract work and things like that. That'll just keep the lights on, as they say, until the next big thing comes in.
Yeah. I think it speaks to the fact that, like, you're not flighty. You're not one to just be like, man, I don't like this thing, I'm out. Like, you stuck, we're not going to go into, I don't think we want to go into details, but, like, he stuck it out there a long time.
I tried to make it work.
He did so flipping much to try to make it work. I saw it in action for months and months and months and months. He's tried. And I also saw, like, the negative toll that it took on him and how toxic it had gotten. And, like, that's not what I want for someone that I love. Like, yeah, no. Oh, look, those grays are almost the same. Anyway, so that's that.
It wasn't healthy to stay, is what it came down to.
And you just simply, I saw it too, you did not have the margin to look while you were there. Because they kept making work overtime, among other things.
It was, a lot of it was just, like, mental, too. It was just, like, the stress of everything was just making it hard to focus and get things done. And I just felt scattered, and I don't like that feeling.
Yeah.
I feel scattered anyway. This was just exacerbating it. Which really was what it came down to. I couldn't work in that environment anymore because it used to be a lot more friendly to me and my way that I kind of function well. And then things changed and became very structured, and expectations became. There were other problems too. Expectations were based a lot around like how much you're getting done in a day, and I don't function well that way. I want quality. I want to do things well. I want the time it takes to kind of do the work as it comes up, and we had things going on that needed attention that were more immediate, and I wanted credit for taking care of the things that needed to be taken care of, not being yelled at for not getting the things done that somebody wants done, because guess what, like we have to deal with what's in front of us also, and they just weren't being very realistic about it. And I just, without going again into the specifics, it just was I'm the kind of person I want to feel like I'm making a strong impact. I want to feel like I'm doing something positive. And I felt like I was doing something positive, but I wasn't able to do what I wanted to be doing because I was too busy just like putting out fires, and then people are yelling at me. And so that didn't stop. It went on for months.
And you care very deeply, like you care very deeply about your work and the quality, and like you see the big picture and the short term. You're able to look at the whole thing and not just this like the short term gain at the expense of, the overall quality. Anyway.
Yeah.
So.
I should stop now, or you guys will keep listening to me talk about work.
They're like, we came here for Katie. No, I'm kidding. I was talking.
You guys want to hear all about my job, right? That I don't have anymore.
I did talk to him before because he said something like, did you ask me specifically, like, did you mention the job, that I'm looking for a job or anything? Because sometimes he'll hear me filming a WIP and Chat. Sometimes I film when he's like out or something like that. So he doesn't always know what I say. But I'm like, yeah, I'm always trying to like find like where the line is between like oversharing or sharing something that's too personal. Especially with like my kids' privacy and stuff. And I was like, I just didn't know if I should talk about the job thing. I don't know. I didn't want it to be too much, but anyway, how about a kitten update? Let's do a fun little kitten update. You heard his antics at the beginning. Is that supposed to be a crystal? Or is that just, oh no, it was just covering the dot. Okay. Skip has gotten so big. Like I look at him now and I'm like, oh my gosh, kittens grow fast, you guys. He and Dolce, I don't know, Adam, I feel like it's kind of 2 steps forward, 1 step back with them. But we're continuing to inch forward, don't you think? Skip and Dolce? Like, I feel like...
To a degree, yeah. I mean, in some ways, Dolce kind of exerting, there it is. Exerting her own kind of... against Skip, basically. Her way of kind of pushing back on him and giving him a little smack from now and again is a good thing. Because then she's not going to feel so trapped. He's gonna.
Except he does not take a hint. He still does not take a hint.
Well, because she mostly just runs away from him. She hisses and doesn't do anything.
Yeah. They got nose to nose this morning, though.
Yeah. I mean, but they've done that before. And she just hisses. But
it was without hisses this time.
Yeah, but I don't think she likes him anymore. I just think she's kind of starting to adjust.
Resign herself.
Which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
The good news is she's not acting out. She's not like, she does not seem to be actually like quality of life is not suffering or anything like that. Like she's still eating normally. Heck, she was eating earlier, like an hour ago. She was eating while Skip was trying to come over and bat at her tail. I was like, okay, we're getting there. We're really getting there. And
I had to chase Skip off though.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Sorry, guys, I'm shifting this. Even though we're getting close to the end here. I didn't want to quite cut it off yet.
Do y'all feel like you're moving? Like it's a motion ride? Your feet went out from under you when she shifted that?
Just ignore him. He's bored.
You gotta warn people, Katie.
Nah, they're used to it. It's fine. How much this should I open up? See, I don't even know what to do with the sections on this kit. It's just pure chaos at this point. So I did this little section with the window. I can't even get like a minder here. Hold on. I can right here. But no, Skip's doing well. I think that maybe it was a tiny setback with us going out of town. We ended up having Skip stay with Adam's parents because we did not trust him and Dolce to be basically mostly unsupervised while we were out of town for almost a week. So he went and stayed with Adam's parents. Dolce stayed here, and we had someone, actually Christiane, come over and check on Dolce a couple of times while we were gone. But I think Dolce was like, oh, yay, I have the house back to myself. And then we brought Skip back home. But they're fine. I feel like they adjusted pretty quickly. And Skip and Connor have the most adorable special bond ever. And I'm not exaggerating it. If I weren't seeing it for myself, like every single day, I would be like, oh, that's cute. But like, I'm sure you're just really talking it up because it sounds cuter that way. But I'm dead serious, you guys. They have the cutest, closest bond. Like, Skip continues to just let Connor do anything and everything as far as like how he picks him up and all this stuff. Skip wants to hang out with Connor, which is really fun. The other day, Skip woke up from a nap and came downstairs and then sat on the back of the couch watching out the window for Connor's bus to get home. Like, it was so they could greet Connor at the door. It was so cute. Like, my heart cannot handle it. Skip regularly comes and like sits with Connor at the dinner table. Like, he squeezes on the chair, and it's like Connor's his person, and he knows it. Adam, I think, is the runner-up. Mike and I are probably around the same. Maybe me a little more than Mike. He likes all of us.
Yeah. He's a pretty friendly cat.
But Connor is his person.
Yeah, and he seems to have made a habit of when we're sitting at the dinner table, because Connor and I sit next to each other, he kind of goes back and forth between us. Got some pretty cute pictures of him snuggling with Connor.
So cute.
But but the day before he came down and looked for Connor, I remember that was the day he was asleep when Connor got home. Mm-hmm. Connor couldn't find him at first. And then when he came down, he went right up to Connor.
Yeah, oh, sorry, I was asleep.
Yeah, so I feel like it's like he changed his habits the next day because of that.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be awake when he gets home.
Yeah. So she's like, I gotta change my internal clock. It's so cute. It's precious. It's so precious. Micah is still trying to figure out, like, how to play with Skip. Like, he wants to, and he gets really excited. He giggles like crazy when Skip is running around and, like, being rambunctious and silly. But then Micah's like, I'm going to throw a toy at you to play with you. And we're like, no. Incorrect. But Micah's never, ever trying to be malicious. He just is so excited, and he's like, I love seeing you run around, and you're a cute little kitty, and I want to play with you, but also you make me a tiny bit nervous. I think Skip is fitting in. It's taking Dolce maybe a little bit longer than I would have hoped to adjust to our newest family member, but I am pretty optimistic that she's going to get there. Aren't you?
I think so, yeah.
I think we're going to get there. I think we'll get there. So yeah, that's the Skip update, the Skippy Skip update. It's so funny. Someone asked, like, oh, you named him Skip? Was that David, I think, that asked you that? And it was like, well, that was the name the shelter had given him. Connor wanted to keep it, and actually it fits him perfectly. Like, just something about his whole demeanor and his whole personality. Like, he's a Skip. He's totally a Skip. I don't know what it is. Skip with 2 P's. So, it's fun. It's fun. Anyway, we're coming up on the hour mark, so I think we'll wrap up. I think somehow I did manage to talk a whole lot more than Adam. I was expecting that he'd be more chatty, but I think he's been co-working. We're co-working. Mm-hmm. I see that a lot on Twitch, actually, like people doing co-working streams. It's like just the idea of having someone like in the space with you that you're both kind of like, since you're working parallel to each other. and you get more done that way. Speaking of getting stuff done, yeah, real quick. Last night, well, the past 2 days I've had migraines. Today I've managed to stay migraine free, actually. But yeah, no, I had migraines 2 days in a row, and I took my migraine med the first day, and it went away, and then it came back the next day, and I ended up taking Excedrin because I only had one prescription migraine pill left, and I wasn't going to be able to pick up my refill until Monday. So I was like, well, let me try Excedrin, and so that I can, have my one migraine pill in my back pocket in case I need it. The Excedrin worked, but there was something about the caffeine that hit real hard, and I ended up with this huge burst of energy after the kids went to bed. And so instead of diamond painting or filming my WIP and Chat while Adam was at the birthday party or gaming, I was like, I had taken a load of laundry out to our garage where our washer and dryer are. I'd taken a load of laundry out to put in, and I kind of looked around and I was like, this garage is a disaster, and I've been meaning to like try to work on cleaning it up and organizing it and going through some of these scary piles. I've been meaning to do that for months. How about I do it right now? And again, if you struggle with executive dysfunction or any other number of like neurodivergencies or mental health struggles, you know that like when you get the desire and the energy and just feel like you're able to do the thing, let alone if you want to do the thing, if you feel like you want to do the thing, you really have to take advantage. You do it. And so I spent an hour and a half going through the garage, adding some stuff to the donate pile, getting some stuff up off the floor and just making some more space in there, and organizing a bit. And then I came inside, and because I was just getting like physically really tired. So then I came inside, and then I went over and I looked at this giant stack of like basically paper mail things that we wanted to keep, like some statements, some bills, some other stuff that I wanted to just keep and file and stuff that went back to literally late 2020. It was this giant stack of stuff that I just had never gone through and filed. And I was like, I'm going to put on a show and I'm going to sort this. I have the little like organizers that I had ordered at one point on Amazon when I had a burst of energy a couple months back. But now I'm actually going to sit down and do the organizing. And so I sat down and it took me an hour and a half, but I did. And that part's done. And I just am like, okay, I'm getting stuff done. It's also continuing to reinforce that I think that the medication that I was on really was no longer helping me in the way that I needed it to. So it's on my to-do list this week, though, to contact my doctor, to do a little like actual follow-up appointment and just talk through this and stuff. And if there's any next steps she feels I should take, and just to touch base and all of that. So anyway, I'm not like saying it at anyone or bragging at anyone to say like, look at the stuff that I got done. Believe me, months and months, and mental health struggles are no joke. I'm not saying that like you are a failure or a terrible person if you didn't manage to be productive in some way or haven't managed to at all. I'm not saying that, I promise. I guess I just wanted to share a little like a celebration of success that I had. And yeah, so anyway, we are here at the end of the WIP and Chat. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. It was fun to just chat and hang. Thanks for letting Adam join us. I hope that you got some work on your WIP done or just enjoyed having some company. I'm always glad to hang out with you guys. Let's see. I'll let Adam pick this today. If you made it all the way to the end of this WIP and Chat, what emoji should they put up? This is the thing that I do.
Oh, hang on. Let me look at the emojis.
Oh, geez. He's going to look at the emojis.
I am going to look at the emojis.
As long as it doesn't take... Never mind, I'm not going to say it. Whenever he goes to
We're going to have a fight when you guys leave.
Whenever he's like, I'm going to use the restroom, I'm like, okay, I'll see you at the end of my next show. Like...
How about the salute? There's a salute emoji.
Okay, make it easy for them to find. Sometimes I'm like, put up a cat emoji or put up a blue emoji or put
Why do you
up
think that's hard to find? It's right there.
Where's the salute emoji?
It's right there on the emoji keyboard on iOS. It's very easy to find.
What even is the salute? Show me. What is the salute emoji?
It's a salute right there.
What?
You never used that before?
No, I've literally never used that emoji.
There's a salute. Find the salute, people. Enjoy.
Okay, I always thought that was him pointing a finger at his own head. Like, I never thought that was a salute emoji. I don't know. That's why I never used the emoji because I didn't get it.
Hey, y'all learned something today. If you like my wife and you thought he was just pointing to his forehead.
He's saluting.
No, it's a salute.
Okay, well, yeah, put up the salute emoji or whatever you think is the salute emoji.
I want to know how many of you, make sure you include in your comment whether or not you knew there was a salute emoji.
Okay, but do you think that emoji also exists like on Android or like other devices? Not
sure it
everyone
does.
has an iPhone.
No, but there's a standard keyboard. Some of these are standard, some of them aren't. I bet you that was
I don't know if the salute is standard. We're going to have a fight. They're going to... You guys, we're going to brawl after we end this video. This is going to be a problem.
You asked me to pick one, now you're getting mad at me about the one I picked.
I'm not mad at you, I just don't understand.
It is available on keyboard layouts for Apple iOS, Samsung, Google Android, etc. The saluting face emoji can also be accessed on Mac OS, Linux, and Amazon Fire. So those of you who are here on your Amazon Fire Kindle tablets can also use the saluting emoji, according to emojiguide.com. Thank you. Mic drop. I win WIP and Chat.
Thank you for Wait, can I say thank you for coming to my TED Talk, or am I going to get in trouble?
I'm not going to report you.
My thumbs down, my serial thumbs downers will. It's okay. Anyway, you guys, thank you for joining us for the chaos. I appreciate you guys a lot. Feel free to hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. I'm going to try to have Adam, I'm going to make him join me more often. I have a couple of video ideas that actually will be helpful to have a second person to manage, and like I have a really, really, really large box that I'm going to need some help with. So I'm like, well, Adam, if you're going to be around, I'm going to put you to work. So stay tuned, you guys. I'm going to have hopefully some fun content for you this week. And yeah, thanks for hanging out again. Hit the thumbs up on your way out. Find the salute emoji if you can, if you made it all the way to the end.
It's actually pretty easy to see because it looks so different from the other ones.
Okay, well, I am so intrigued, you guys. I'm so intrigued. All right, I'm going to keep diamond painting, or maybe go game a little bit, or maybe just go fight with Adam over this whole situation.
Yeah,
but
that all sounds
have
fun.
An amazing week, and I'll chat with you in the next one. Bye.